heart attack. Fast, fatal, heart impact. Past painful scars, in fact I blast tasteful bars and past. I back up my actions, fact don't ask, grab reactions, jacked. Attack with every word, then act with class as they hear me snap. I got nothing to lose, cause I fought and felt the bruise. Now I'm not the one confused, call the shots and they produce. I ain't lost, I'm finally loose. Pick a new silver excuse, I need the views to boost me to a new abuse of being used. Everybody wants a piece now, y'all can rest in peace now. You're dead to me, so peace out. Remember you're discreet now, get ready for defeat now.
Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Minishot here, and now, let's begin this Minishot Minishot. We'll start with Izuku Midoriya. At a very young age, things have been a bit different for him. Deku was born while his mother was 22. And because of this, he was born just after she got out of college. Now, at a very young age, Deku, he did know his father, shortly before he was killed in a villain attack. And, well, that was very bad. Enko, she had to start trying to find a job. She did have the money, or at least payout, that they gave her for Hisashi's life insurance. And while that could keep them afloat for roughly about a year or two, or possibly even 3 if you try and spread it out more, it would still take a while for it really to be there. It's more or less Enko, she doesn't want to spend the money. While it is good they do have it, she knows for a fact she can't just live off of that for the next couple years. So, she uses her degree to get a job. Now, while this is all going on, you do actually have Deku, who, at a very young age, he does manifest his quirk. And Inko is quite surprised when she discovers exactly what her son can do. Now, it was very intriguing, and really it was kind of strange. Deku started to show off his ability after reading books, and really just things he's talked about in stories he can create. Inko was very surprised with his power, his ability. She wanted her son to learn more about it, explore it more. And, well, after taking him to a library or a bookshop for a few times a week to around a month, eventually Deku, he actually started to become friends with some people there, along with Inko actually becoming friends with the owner of the actual store. While it is a small store, it is actually very nice here. The people are nice, and the lady, she actually does somewhat watch after Deku sometimes. Inko, she grew to have this person as a very close family friend, and she would actually look after Deku sometimes. Whenever Inko's at work or busy doing things, Deku can usually be found at the bookshop, reading a book, or even trying to help out here. And Deku, he does enjoy it, up until he does start to get into school, where things, they do go normal for him. He has a quirk, and people, they don't really bully him or try to be mean to him, especially because of his power. Now, many people think that he could actually become a very good hero, but Deku actually doesn't really want to be a hero. It's, well, kind of strange. He does have that desire. He can save people, but he just doesn't see it that way. There are already tons and tons of heroes, so why make another one? Why just be another hero whenever there's already so many? He wants to pursue his own dreams. He's always liked books, and that's sort of what he does do, as the years would roll by. Now, we actually do cut over to somebody else. They are actually a lot younger. They were born a while later than they should have been. And right now we actually have Shino, or Mandalay. She got, well, stuck looking after Koda. Right now his parents are on the job, and she is dealing with some complicated paperwork. She's trying to become a pro hero, and right now with this paperwork, she's kind of in between a transfer period. Until the paperwork is properly solved and figured out, she won't really be able to work. And because of that, she's actually had a few days off. Now, Koda, he's actually been trying to ask and beg his aunt if he can go to that bookstore he always has his parents take him to. He really loves it there. It's a very cool place. It's amazing. They have all types of books there, and even the book owner or the shop owner, he's a very nice guy. Now, Mandalay, while she was kind of annoyed by this, she actually did see how Koda did react. He really does love that little shop. And he even does express that, well, Mr. Deku, as he does call him, he does so much there. And that he does even want to become an author, or even really a, well, published author. And Mandalay, she actually does find that to be kind of cool. Mr. Deku, is that really it? In her mind, Mandalay, she pictures an older gentleman. A man who he looks at to the store by himself and he lives there. He would be a kind, nice old man. And that actually is what they're getting from the store, and she does look at it. There's not really too much about the store that's interesting. It just looks like a regularly nice, upkept shop. And there was whenever she actually go to walk in. The moment the door opened, her and Koda, they walked in. Koda basically sprinting in and running down one of the many, many halls containing books. As Mandalay, she just gotta look around. This is insane. It doesn't make sense. This is kind of surprising her. This place looks so, well, unbelievable. It looks so fancy, it's just hard to understand. When she looks up, there's a second level to the store. But that doesn't make sense. There's a walkway, there's books, but when you're outside, the second story, there was a balcony up there. So how would this be welcome? This video she actually is going to turn her head. And she does see Deku just sitting down and sipping a cup of coffee. As he actually does have his feet on a desk chair, or his feet curled up with a desk chair and a notebook on his lap. And it is actually kind of surprising. She looks at this younger man. He must be, well, he's gotta be, what? An employee, maybe? That's gotta be it. And she actually has walk over and go to ask this question. Exactly what's going on in here? And why is... yes, I'm very sorry. I get that question multiple times. This bookstore, it's actually been put under new management. I didn't renovate it, but I actually have permissions to use my quirk here. Permissions to use your quirk? Yes, miss. I see you brought Koda. Yes, I did. He really does like this place. It's very interesting. Your quirk allows you to do this? Yes, it does. Originally, this place would only have room for a few bookshelves. It's a very small place, you know? But at the same time, with my quirk, I'm able to do a lot. Now, Mandalay, she's kind of surprised. As she does somewhat just turn her head and look over to see where Koda is. As she actually does see a golem made of stone. Right now, it's just pushing along a cart full of books. And she does just stare at it for a second. As she does turn to look at Deku. Excuse me, what's going on there? Oh, yes. That would be part of my quirk. I'm very sorry if it does annoy you or it's most likely uncomfortable. Not really. I'm just very intrigued. "Hmm, Yes, I do understand." Deku actually going to bring his legs out and stretch, as he does go to sit down his coffee and go to put down his notepad and his pencil. Going to stand up and going to reach out his hands. "My name is Zuko. It's very nice to meet you, Miss." Her going to reach out her hand, shaking Deku's, talking about how her name is Shino. Shino. "And would I be able to ask your relation to Koda?" "Koda, he's my nephew." "Interesting. It's very surprising. I usually see him here with his parents." "I'm guessing they're working today?" Yeah, they are. Um, so where's this Mr. Deku fellow I've heard him talk about?" Yeah. Deku, he does want to laugh a little bit, talking about how he's actually Deku. Huh? Yes. I know it might sound surprising, but it's a nickname he gave me. I actually have a few customers who do like calling me that. And he's not the only one. I have this one customer who does like to come in here. He mainly buys novels, romantic ones, and he does actually call me Deku. I've asked his opinions on some of the writings I do have for some of my own books I do want to publish one day. And he does at least give me honest reviews, albeit harsh, you know? Um, yeah. What is this guy's quirk? He's not easy to understand. Hmm. But let me guess. I'm sorry. I believe I don't. I have not had enough coffee today. I'm very sorry. I don't believe I fully answered your question. My quirk is very different. I call my quirk imagination. Imagination? Yes. My quirk allows me to create things and manipulate certain other things. Through the use of my quirk, I actually was able to do all this. I manipulated the area to appear larger. The books are all the same shape and size. However, this entire area is, as you would put it, made up. It's made up? Well, yes. I myself am not entirely too sure how it does work, but it also does seem to occupy some sort of space in reality. It's a very fascinating concept to me. I really do want to write a book about it as well. But at the same time, I know it would probably scare a lot of people. No. She doesn't believe Deku, deciding that she might be able to just use her quirk and get an actual answer. Her going to read his mind, as you do actually have Deku, who does go to bring his hand down and go to grab his coffee cup, going to bring it up to his face and blowing on it since it's still very hot. Let's see. The concepts for a book. No, well, love stories are very interesting and appealing to some audiences. What would be a better genre? Mystery, maybe? Everyone does love a good mystery story. Even a tale, really. And then there's her. Now, Shino does actually go to look directly at Deku, as Deku's actual eyes do look back towards her. She's Koda's aunt. She does seem to be very nice. Very caring. I do hope the young boy is doing very well. His parents are always busy, and he does love it here. Maybe one day he can get a job here, like I did. Now, it actually does somewhat bring a smile to Mandalay's face. Deku, he seems to be a very good guy. He's genuine. He does care. And at the same time, he's very honest and forward going. Um, excuse me. Yes, I'm sorry. I was hoping if you could answer a question for me. What would that be? Now, the two do start to talk. Mandalay is asking questions about certain genres of books, and she's even trying to learn what Deku might know about pro heroes and such, trying to test his knowledge. Now, she's a lot younger than in canon, so her personality has yet to start shaping. While she is calm and collected, she does also still have a fiery persona. She has very little experience when it comes to stressful situations, and she's hoping that Deku might have some insight as to how people react. He's a book author. He's somebody who makes stories, so he should know about it. Human reactions and such, the way they do perceive events, he must be very good at it. And while the two are actually somewhat very deep in conversation, there is a whenever Koda's come running up to the front counter with about 5 or 10 different books. Him putting them down and asking Mr. Deku if he can get all these to check out. Well, I believe so. Well, I don't think that would be a good idea. His parents already had to pay for 3 books. But he's all by himself sometimes, right? I do hope that she does take care of him. Well, he's a very energetic young boy. It's easy for him to not realize it. Kid, alright. But just remember not to lose them, okay? I'll try, Mr. Deku. Now, Deku just won't smile, as he does at least go to write down the names of the books, and then go to write Koda by them. As he actually does go to bring up a paper for Mandalay to sign, informing her that she doesn't need to sign here so that she does at least take responsibility in case he does lose them or damage them, since they might need to be replaced if that does happen. Alright. Now, as she does going to lean into sign, she actually does get a better look at Deku. He does seem to be dressed comfortably. Along with that, he's very relaxed in the way he's acting. It's kind of surprising to her. He's got the ability to create things in warp space, but all he's really doing with it is running a bookstore? It's kind of fascinating when you do think about it. But at the same time, why isn't he a pro? It's kind of interesting when she does try to think about it. And there is actually whenever Deku, he actually is at least going to ask one question. As Midnight, she's going to go back to looking up towards Deku. So, I'm curious about something. Go for it. You run this place all by yourself? Well, yes, I do. Well, I do have some of my creations helping me. I mainly do handle things up here. It's very nice and plenty of people come here. Along with that, I do sometimes change up the shop for some events, so it's kind of different. But right here, this is how I do usually like to keep it. Since only my normal customers, they come here so often that changing it would just be annoying to them. I don't really want to do that, so it's easier, you know? Yeah, I guess I do understand. Now, it's just weird to her. She's gonna read Deku's mind and just ask her next question. Why isn't he a hero? Huh? Well, I shouldn't blame you for your curiosity at that. I'm not a hero because I don't want to be. What? Yes. Well, I could easily be a hero with my powers. I don't really want to do that. Yes, it would be interesting, but fame and glory and stuff like that, other than the limelight, it's something that I don't really think I'd be comfortable with. In fact, I'd be more comfortable sitting behind this desk with a cup of coffee and a book. Even then, I do like where I'm at. So, why change what you already like? Now, Mandalay, she's staring at Deku. She's getting a genuine answer out of him. Even his thoughts, they're almost the exact same. He's not lying. But that doesn't make sense. People always lie. She does lie, Koda's lied before, her sisters lied, even, well, some of the people she's worked with. They only tell half truths sometimes when they're talking. But him, he is, well, her actually getting a bit flustered. As she does ask if Izuku, he happens to live here. Um, yes, I do. My apartment is actually just upstairs. I've changed it to be a bit more spacious as well. I also did, if you are curious, inherit this store from a family friend of mine. Really? Your family doesn't run it? No. Well, my mother, she has actually come close to retirement because of her job. I myself do run things here. In fact, it does sound kind of sad whenever I do put it this way, but a family friend of ours passed. And, well, I did work here at the time, and I did try very hard to help this place stay running. She left it to me in her will. Oh, I'm very sorry. Don't worry about it. She went peacefully. In fact, it's actually very sad when you do think about it. But she's in a better place. And that's all you really can focus on. Yeah, I guess you're right. Now, the two do leave. As Mandalay, whenever she is walking away, there is actually Koda. Koda, he's actually carrying the stack of books. And there is Mandalay, as the two are walking. Koda, he actually is talking about how Mr. Deku, he always does these weird things there. He does this, he does that, he does this, and he does that. And Mandalay, she's just walking with, well, a finger up to her mouth. Trying to think. That guy, he was very good looking. And even then, he seems so relaxed. He takes things easy, but that doesn't make sense. With a power like that, why not? Hell, thinking about it now, he could be a pretty dangerous villain. But he just wants to live a simple life? Nah. Koda does actually turn his head, asking if, well, Shino is thinking about Mr. Deku. To which she actually does gonna do one simple thing. She snaps off her train of thought and actually is gonna turn to Koda, as her cheeks are a bright shade of red, talking about how no, she's not. Hmm? Come on, Mr. Deku's a really cool guy. I think that he might be single. He is. I mean, that's his business, not mine. Either way, you should you need to stay out of grown-up business, okay? Oh, come on. He's a really cool person. He puts a lot of effort into things, and he's even forgiven me for losing one of his books. Come on. If you could, you should give him a chance. I mean, the bookstore is just back there. You could get his phone number. Now, Mandalay, she doesn't say a word at that. While she was thinking about asking him, she wasn't too sure. And right now, being put on the spot like that, she doesn't know what to do. As we do cut back over to Deku, where you do have him sitting down, as he's going over things and chewing on the eraser of his pencil. As the door of the shop does open and Deku is going to turn his head. Welcome. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. Catch you guys in the next mini shop.